Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I am Shia Bano and I'm speaking to you from Velayat TV, Chicago. We have a very interesting topic that we want to discuss today, and it is how Azadari started in the US. It's been more than 1400 years since Azadari started, and we know that it was started by our fourth Imam and by Bibi Zainab. And the tears that were shed by our fourth Imam, those are the tears that we shed today. They come through our eyes today. And these tears are never going to dry. We are always going to cry for Imam Hussain. We are always going to do Azadari. It's going to be conducted till Judgment Day. And it doesn't matter where we are in the world today, when the days of Muharram come, or especially during the days of Muharram, we want to get together. We want to get together as a group, and we want to conduct majlises. And today we are fortunate that we have so many centers available. I was on the internet last night just to see, like how many centers we have, and mashallah, almost every state has a center. I have to say I didn't see a center in Hawaii, but otherwise every state has a center. And I am from Chicago, and I can tell you that we have more than 3 centers here. And the place where I moved from, Kansas City, when I moved from there, it didn't have a center, but mashallah today, it's been about 5 years since they started a center called Az-Zahra. So even small places like Kansas City have centers, which is really, really great. But when we think back to those older times when our fathers and our elders came to the US as immigrants, there was nothing available. What they would do is get together. People would drive great distances to come together to conduct majlises, and they would get together in their homes. And then slowly they started realizing that these homes are not going to be enough because the community is growing. And among those people, there were some pioneers. There were people who had that passion, that love for the Ahl Bayt, that they dedicated their entire lives, their time and resources, to build centers that have been running now for more than 50 years. And they had that vision and that mission in their life to do that for us. And so today we are the ones that enjoy these centers. We are the ones that, like in Chicago, we have a choice of 3 different centers. We can pick, we want to listen to a majlis in English, we want to listen to a majlis in Urdu. Do we want the more traditional style or the more modern style? So we have that. We are fortunate to have that choice in front of us to pick a center that we want to go to. But in the olden days, that wasn't there. So, and the thing about recognizing these pioneers, they have dedicated their whole lives. They have dedicated their time and their resource. And one such pioneer is with us today. And I'm very honored that he has taken the time to be with us. And what we would like to do is just talk to him and learn from him how it was that Azadari, they would do Azadari in the olden days, in like not really old, I would say around the 50s, how Azadari was conducted then, and then that vision, that drive that he had to start a center in Chicago, which is the Husaini Association of Greater Chicago. And I have been to that association so many times. I remember when I was a student, it was on Washtenaw. It was just one hall in Washtenaw. And this family, our guest family, I'm going to introduce him to you just in a minute, but they would pick me up from my dorm and take me to the center. And then I saw with my own eyes how much dedication they had for Azadari, how much dedication they had to the center, because they would be the ones to stay back and clean the place, clean the bathrooms before they left. And I was stuck because they were, that was my right, so I was stuck, but I got to see firsthand how much dedication and how much passion they had for Imam Hussain and for Azadari. So we are very honored to have our guest with us today. His name is Syed Asad Ali Rizvi, and he has been in Chicago for a very long time. And he's one of the pioneers that I'm talking about that started the Husaini Association. And before we start talking to him, what I would like to do is just quote some of his shairi, because he's a man of many talents. He has so many talents. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. But just to start off with his shairi, with some of his share. This is from his Kalam-e Asad, a book that he has published. And he says, Islam ki आवाज़ है इस्लाम रहेगा, जो दुश्मन इस्लाम है नाकाम रहेगा, मिट जाएगी दुनिया ये बहरहाल एक दिन, लेकिन मेरे शब्बीर का एक नाम रहेगा, लेकिन मेरे शब्बीर का एक नाम रहेगा. This is how much passion he has for the cause of Azadari and for Imam Hussain. So a little bit about him before we start talking to him. He came to the US in 1960 and he went to Northeastern University in Boston where he got his MBA. And then he moved to Chicago and he's worked in Chicago at major corporations in the field of corporate auditing. He has a passion for Urdu. He is very well versed in Urdu. And from time to time when I recite my majlises, I will use his shairi, his beautiful poetry, and that just adds that extra touch to the majlis. So he's published a book called Kalam-e Asad. As I mentioned, it's been republished now. A new version of it is available, and it's very beautiful poetry there. His ustad, when he started writing the poetry in Urdu, his ustad is none other than Najam Afandi, who is well known throughout the world, actually, in India as well as in Pakistan. And then he's also written a book for freshmen, people who do freshman Urdu in the University of Chicago. So that's how much passion he has for just the language, the Urdu language. And the most important thing that I want to tell you about him is that he is the founder of the Husaini Association of Chicago. And what we would like to do is spend some time now talking to him about just those olden days of Azadari, how it was that they used to get together, and then how Husaini was started and how he came up with that name Husaini to begin with. So without any further ado, I would like to welcome you, Janab Asad Rizvi, to Velayat TV Chicago. We are very honored to have you with us. So if you can just tell us just a little bit about your family.
First of all, I'd like to thank Velayat TV, yourself and the management for giving me this opportunity to come and talk to you about the beginning of Azadari in Chicago. Realizing that there were no majalis programs or commemoration of Karbala Muharram, I invited a few of the people at the time living in Chicago. Very few families were here to come and join me for the Ashura program that I initiated in my home. And a lot of people came there, maybe 15-20 families, and we did the Ashura program. And in February 1972, during the month of Muharram, when we were residing at Ridge Avenue, I arranged for 10 days of Majalis, Muharram Majalis, first Ashra, at my home. And before that, I took the initiative to establish the first Shia organization in Chicago named Husaini Association of Greater Chicago, which was later on registered with the federal and state government. I selected this name because of Imam Hussain alayhi salam's tragedy, and it was most appropriate to have name Husaini Association. And at that time, we sat down after I formed this association. We sat down, we called some people, and we said we should have maybe a board or executive committee to run this organization. And all of them unanimously told me that since you started the organization, we want you to be the first president of the Husaini Association. And with that, there was four more members who joined as treasurer and other in areas, and we started the organization. And,
so Janab Asad Rizvi, we have a caller, and let's see who this is. Assalamu alaikum. I see that it's Sister Nasreen. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. So we will wait for her call again. So please continue on.
Okay, a few months from today, which marks 43 years of Husaini Association inception.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
And the Azadari, the establishment of Azadari, the organization, commemoration of Muharram Ashura at Husaini Association is going very well. And now it is called Islamic Education Center of Husaini Association. I had some things that I wrote down for reference so that the dates are not mixed up. So Husaini Association was formed in February of 1972, and first we invited in 1973. We didn't have any center or anything. We used to do it at homes. So we invited, 3 speakers from India. First one was Maulana Tahir Jarwali, who is passed away a long time ago, and during Arba'in period, because they were not available during first 10 days of Muharram. And also Allama Zishan Haider and Maulana Athar Sahab was there in 73. We first purchased a center in 1981 in Chicago, north side of Chicago.
That was in Washtenaw.
That was in Washtenaw.
That's the one I remember.
Yes, and we had the honor of having Marja Ayatullah Al-Uzma Hui, who paid for the center. Actually, he sent us money which was more than what we needed to buy that center. So it was all fully paid at that time. And then, in 1992, we thought we wanted to expand this organization. So we wanted to invite Maulana Syed Zaki Al-Sawej, who was in charge of IEC in Houston, to come and take in charge of the Husaini Association and also implement Islamic Constitution, which it did in February 1992. And then at that time, this organization was renamed as IEC of Islamic Education Center of Husaini Association of Greater Chicago. So, and we sold the old center, and according to Maulana Syed Zaki, we collected a lot of money. He, got money from Middle East and other places. And we bought this new center in November 93. And
the one in Glendale now.
Glendale, actually, it was fully paid.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the brief history. And at that time, Zaki Sahab, Maulana Syed Zaki had the permission from Marja Gulpaigani from Iran for $400,000, a homes collection from Mominin.
Mm-hmm. So Janab Asad Rizvi, I want to take you back in time a little bit. So I know that when you first came to the U.S., you were in Boston, and you were a student then. So in 1960, I can imagine there was hardly anybody around, right?
Yes, nobody.
So tell us a little bit, because that's very interesting.
Yes, I was staying with my cousin and his wife, and we were only 3 people who used to sit down during Muharram time and do majalis, at home. And nobody used to come there because we didn't know anyone who was Shia and who was there in that time. Very few people used to come there. But I came back. I established in 72 because I went back, got married, and I came back in 1970, migrated here, and that's when I found that even at that time there was no Azadari being celebrated or commemorated in Chicago. Mm-hmm. So I thought this is the best time. After I had Ashura at my home, and there were 10, 15 people, families there, I thought that was the best time to start an organization, which I did. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that Janab Sayyida selected me to do that job.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
I'm real grateful to Shahzadi Fatima Zahra Salamullah alayha.
You had that vision to start something that we enjoy today.
Yes.
So back in Boston, did you have the Noha books and the Marsiya books that you brought with you from India?
And also I had brought an alam with me.
Oh, you brought an alam too?
Alam with me, but
whose alam was that?
Janab Asad.
Oh, mashallah.
So, but at that time there was nobody to join us for any majlis. We were only 3 people who used to celebrate Muharram during that time.
Yeah, my parents used to tell me that if they saw another Indian or Pakistani, they would be so happy. Yes. It didn't matter what the faith of that person was. They would be so happy to see just another face that belonged to, you know, like somebody back
Right.
home.
And I'm glad at present we have almost like 1200 Mominin who comes from Ashara Awwal program, and we have highly dedicated, energetic youth department, and I think recently they are doing a lot of things like Who is Hussein, dedicated to promote peace, enlighten the world about Imam Hussein in his lofty principle, and to deliver the message of Karbala to modern world. We have regular private and Husaini assistance programs, and we have active thriving Sunday school with over 250 students led by Brother Samar Abbas and overseen by Maulana Hudatul Islam Syed Mehdi Abidi. And we have majalis coverage via YouTube. We have funeral services, Tafsir Quran, classes, weekly regular program, publication, books, CDs, several other multimedia programs.
Yeah, sometimes I go online and there's live streaming of majalis from Husaini.
Yes. But the thing is that it was very difficult in the beginning to do. We didn't have a center. We used to have 10 days of Muharram majalis, and after that only on certain Shahadat days we used to have it. And it used to be in different Mominins' home. But mostly it used to be in all the Maulanas that came during that time. Nobody in the United States had an organization at that time. As far as I'm sure there was none. But they used to call me and say, you know, I believe we have so and so speaker come from India. Can you send him to us, like in Houston, New Jersey, New York, and also in Canada also. Like Maulana Zishan Haidar went to Canada also to recite majalis. But there were very few people at that time, you know, when Maulana Tahir Jarwali was invited first time in 1973. We had taken permission from a Yugoslavian mosque here in Chicago, north side Chicago. It was a huge masjid, and when we took him for majalis, and he was shocked to see only 10 people sitting in front of him.
So the masjid was, they allowed for us to conduct the majlis.
Yes.
Is that masjid still here now? I mean, in Chicago?
I have no idea.
So this was in downtown Chicago?
Yeah, it was in north side, North Avenue, and I think it was North Avenue. But what I'm trying to say is, then we also had some majalises, arranged in MCC, Muslim Community Center. But the thing is that, important thing is that I had a vision to have this Azadari prosper, and every moment, every Shia person should come and attend the program and bring their children.
Yes.
Now we have the second generation, which is that is benefiting by this, programs. And I'm very glad that our Maulana Hudatul Islam, Maulana Mehdi, is being an asset to the organization and to the community. He has done a lovely job, as in charge of this organization. And I was privileged to be with Maulana Syed Zaki, and I'm still, I don't have a position right now, but I still, do whatever I can. And I also think, it's time that, we are also organizing, Maulana Muhammadi has started a project to rebuild and enlarge the building.
Yeah, there's
project.
Construction going
Yes.
on right now.
And I think it would be nice for people to donate as much as they can, so that we can complete that project as soon as possible.
We're always in need of that.
Yes.
So when you came back from Boston to Chicago, you had the kids with you at that time?
No.
Okay.
No. I came back to Chicago. I worked here for about a year and a half. Then I went back, got married, and after a couple of years in India, I came back in 1970. That's when I found that still there was no program of Muharram or commemoration of Muharram going on. That's when I thought that we should have an organization. So I started Husaini Association, and there were some people who really helped me in making that organization grow.
So when you were conducting majlises in your home, people would gather in the living room, is it?
Yes.
Okay. And the Maulana would be there as well, or
Yes,
there was no
Maulana would
Maulana?
come. As a matter of fact, in the beginning, I think until late 80s, every Maulana that came to recite Majalis Husaini used to stay with us. And after that, there were so many people who wanted to offer their residences, which was very nice, to have different venues,
Yeah, but I've heard stories from you on how the Maulanas used to stay with you, and
Yes.
right.
Well, it was an honor to have them. So,
And there were quite a number of them, right, that would come during the days of
think,
Muharram and Safar, and
first 3-4 Maulanas that came until 1978, 80 they didn't have any other place to go except Chicago. But we used to make arrangements and send to Houston or New Jersey, where they used to have majalis at their residences at that time. They didn't have any organization. Maybe later on, they did have, I think there was some organization in New York and New Jersey that started later on. But I'm proud to be the first one to start Husaini
mashallah.
in Chicago, and that was the first Shia organization in America, the United States.
Yes. So I gather your family is very religious. They were very religious back in India as well.
Yes, we are religious. My father died in Karbala, and he was buried there. My mother died in Chicago, and she was buried in home. So we had a religious family, and I think I got the religious fervor from them.
From them. And you still have a Imam Barga in Hyderabad?
Yes.
That you carry on?
Yes.
Azadari there as well?
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about those early days of Azadari, when people used to gather together, and then who cooked the food and what happened, because like now we have all these amenities available to us that we just order food and the food comes to our homes.
At that time, as a matter of fact, when I celebrated first Ashura, and I called the people that I knew, 5-10 families, there was a lot of calls that came to me that morning of Ashura, saying that we heard that you're having an Ashura program. Is it okay if we come and attend the program? And I said, sure, you can come. And I asked my wife to maybe make some khichdi and khatta. And at that time, she didn't know how to cook.
Yeah.
So she called Hyderabad and got the recipes and all that. And we thought that maybe maximum husband, wife, 20 people will be there. But so my wife prepared for 20 people, but there was 40, 50 people came with children, everyone. And I don't know how, it was a miracle that the food really, then wasn't any shortage of food at that day, on Ashura day.
MashaAllah.
But I'm really grateful to Ahl Bayt, Janab Sayyida, Janab Zainab, for giving me this opportunity to create an organization, establish an organization in Chicago.
And to serve the community, that it's going
And
to carry on.
We are also at Husaini, we started for last few years, majalis in English besides Urdu program. And young people are really enjoying it. And I think in the future we may have it in different languages, depending on how the response is from the community people.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. How do you see Azadari evolving? How has it evolved? I think we have a caller. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. So we missed that call. They'll probably call back. So how do you see Azadari evolving in the future? And how have you seen the change, from the beginning, when I think the majlises were more the traditional style? How has it changed today? And what do you see for the future?
Well, I see that, a lot of, because of the English majalis also, a lot of youth are getting involved. And those who don't know Urdu that much, they are really enjoying. And we have, many good speakers that come to Chicago, to Husaini Association. And I'm sure the same thing with the other two organizations in Chicago. And but the thing is that it's a very important thing that we need to do is to promote this azadari and the message of Karbala, and to show people that Islam is for peace and not for terrorism. And because if we don't do that, then we are not doing the right service to the Imam Hussein Karbala message. So this is, I think that's one, and I want to see, really a lot of, organizations taking care of these things and, promoting, besides majalis, because majalis, azadari is the most important thing.
Yes. So I have put the phone on vibration mode so we don't get distracted. Okay. So yeah, so how has it changed from the 60s to now, azadari?
Oh, it has changed a lot.
Yes.
Because I think when we came to Chicago in 1970, nobody here in the United States knew who Imam Hussein was or what azadari was. But now everybody knows, because of the Islamic revolution also really enlightened people.
You mean people who are not Muslims, they have more awareness because of
that who Husaini is and what azadari is, and the trips that people are making to Karbala, Najaf, Iran, Iraq, Syria is really showing people that this religion is for peace and not for terrorism.
Yes, but I feel that like compared to our Sunni brothers, we do not open our doors to outside people. So
we do.
We do.
A lot of
So we have a call.
Okay.
Hello. I think it got disconnected again. They'll probably call back. So when you go on the internet and look at people who are converting to Islam, they are mainly Sunnis who are converting to Islam. So we have a missed call again. There's a problem with my phone, I think. So we have a caller who's very persistent, and I know that whenever I try to answer, it just gets disconnected. So I apologize for that. Okay, here it is again. Hello? Hello?
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
This is Anjali Nakri and I'm calling from Chicago.
Assalamu alaikum, Anjali. How are you doing?
Alaikum assalam. Alhamdulillah, I'm doing fine, thank you. And I just wanted to say that your topic for today's program is really informative and interesting at the same time. And I really like to say my salam to Brother Janab Syed Asad Rizvi Sahab. These are the people, it's their effort and it's their struggle and it's their initiative that they have taken for the azadari of Imam Mazloom alayhi salatu wassalam, that we are fortunate enough to have these centers today and for our coming younger generation,
no doubt,
our future, for our children, that we are alhamdulillah enjoying the azadari in this part of the world.
Thank you.
Yes.
So really grateful to these kind of personalities. And again, it's a very good initiative from Velayat TV's Chicago studio that, they're bringing these personalities and, these people that who only have been living in Chicago for the past 10 years. And now we can see that how much perspective has been put and how much efforts our, elders have made.
Yes.
And we really salute these people and thank you so much. And just wanted to say my salam and thank you for
thank you for your
coming to Velayat TV. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that you liked it.
So continuing back on our topic, I feel that there's a lot more people converting to Sunni Islam than Shia Islam, and I think part of the reason is because we don't really want to open our doors to the outside world. We want to do azadari, but we just want to do it among ourselves. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think there's a lot of people who are also converting
To Shia Islam.
to Shia Islam, to 12th Imamers, But the only thing is that these are the things that has to be taken care by our Maulanas to give speeches and try to. I think Maulana, I'm sure other organizations also do it, but Hujjatul Islam Maulana Syed Muhammad Mehdi, goes to universities and colleges and try to talk about Karbala and Azadari and how Islam was presented by Ahl Bayt. That is the most important thing. We have to show that Islam, through the eyes of Ahl Bayt, is this true Islam, which
Yes.
gives peace and prosperity for everyone.
The love for the Ahl Bayt is what differentiates
yes,
us.
yes.
And we have to
And
show.
we are proud to be, Shias, to commemorate, Mazloom Imam Hussain and Janab Zainab, who went through a lot of, tragedies during the Karbala incident.
And after Karbala.
Yes.
So you have been to Karbala as well?
Yes, last year, myself and my family was in
I think we have a
Karbala.
call. Hello? Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. This is Mrs. Rizvi from Houston.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Walaikum salam. This is Rizvi from Houston. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. How are you doing, sister?
Yes.
How are you doing?
Walaikum salam.
I'm so glad that you're listening to our program.
Yes.
Would you like to share a comment or do you have a question?
Yeah. Mrs. Shaheen, I'd just like to ask a question.
Sure.
What are the things Maulana Syed Zaki have brought for changes in IEC besides Husaini Association when he changed to IEC? What are the things he brought change to your association?
Yeah, so the good person to answer that question is our brother here.
Okay.
Or still going the same way?
Okay.
How he improved, I think.
Yes.
Okay, Maulana Syed Zaki al-Savej, we invited him in '92 and handed over him the Husaini Association to come and be in charge of the organization and also to help us find a new center and implement the Islamic Constitution, which was very, very important thing for us, so that we don't have any elections, we don't have any, backbiting or something like that. And he did that very, very well, but unfortunately he was too young to, die in Iran, and we really miss him. But the important thing is that after his passing away, Maulana Hujjatul Islam, Maulana Mehdi became in charge of that, and we are very honored to have him as an asset to the organization and to the community of Chicago and Husaini. Because he has been doing a lot of things, like he is doing Tafsir al-Quran classes weekly, regular programs, publications, books, CDs, several other multimedia programs that has been undertaken by him. And he has also launched a full expansion program under his leadership for the building. And it is going very well so far. And we, want people to donate as much as they can, so that we can have a very large, center in Chicago, Husaini Association, IC Husaini.
Yes. So I think an answer to that question is that Maulana Zaki brought about a change in the constitution,
yes, the constitution
in the laws
and,
of
people,
Husaini.
And also, he was a very good speaker, and we were really happy to have him as in charge of the organization until he passed away.
So I hope that answers your question, Sister Shanaz from Houston. And so, what we would like to do, we have a great Shia here with us, and he's published a book called Kalam Asad. And as I said, I use that a lot during my majlises. I like to read the poetry from there. And so what we would like to do, it will be really, really great if you can share some of your poetry with us.
Okay, I'll just, first of all, I'm not going to read the whole thing here, every salam, but I'm going to just pick a couple of, verses from my salams and say that in this program. Like, one of my salams says, आज भी है दीन हक पर ऐसा एहसान हुसैन, आज भी है दीन हक पर ऐसा एहसान हुसैन, क्या भला समझेगी उम्मत क्या है फैज़ान हुसैन, और सर कटाकर करबला में हो गया हुर्वी शहीद, सुबह आशूरा हुआ था जो कि मेहमानी हुसैन. And the important verse is this, ज़ेर खंजर सर जो रखा करबला की खाक पर, ज़ेर खंजर सर जो रखा करबला की खाक पर, आ गई दुनिया सिमट कर ज़ेर दामानी हुसैन.
Mashallah, mashallah.
And also I had for regarding Imam Hussain, खुदा की राह में यूं खून अपना दे दिया तूने, ज़मीने करबला को कर दिया खाके शिफा तूने.
माशाअल्लाह.
वो मेराजे नबूवत थी, ये मेराजे इमामत है, ज़मीने करबला पे सर जो अपना रख दिया तूने. और कभी आगोश अहमद में, कभी पुश्ते नबूवत पर न रखा अपने नाना से ज़रा भी फासला तूने. न था कोई जो बढ़कर दीन खालिक को बचा लेता, हुसैन इब्ने अली हक था तेरा जो कुछ किया तूने.
Mashallah, mashallah.
So these are some of the things.
Very beautiful.
But I'm running out of these books, but the only place I can get printed is in back home in Hyderabad, India.
So I would like a copy of that as well.
I want to give it to Velayat TV, but I am really, honored to be here and humbled by it that you people invited me.
No, we are honored to have you here.
And I just hope that every organization in Chicago, Shia organization, and every organization in the United States and elsewhere prosper and have harmony among their own people
that's
and
very
among
important.
organizations, because every organization has to have relationship with the other organizations, regardless of what the system is there, but so that the Mu'mineen feel comfortable going to other organizations also.
No, I know that at Baitul Ilm we don't like to keep programs at the same time as Husaini, because people have that chance of going to one place and then going to another place after that. So to avoid conflict of time, we always do programs that are staggered, so it's one after the other.
And this, the most important thing is that we started, I think Husaini started a few years ago, English programs during first 10 days of Muharram, and later after that 10 days also we have programs. And I think it's a very good thing, because the youth enjoy sitting and listening in English, because they are used to talking in English, the schools, so it's good. And I think in the future maybe we'll have in several other languages also, depending on how the community expands.
No, I know that. I travel a lot, so sometimes when I go to California, there is a big center there, I forget the name, I think it's called Sabah Center, but they have a really, really big hall. And they have, at the same time, they have majlises going on in, I know it's Arabic and Urdu and English at the same time. So people get to choose which room they want to go to, and there's Maulana conducting. So we have a caller here. Assalamu alaikum.
This is not a solicitation for money. This is a call that will inform you of positive options that will change your life. Press 1 to speak with the...
So that was a salesperson calling, I suppose. So do you have a note?
No.
So I think we have. Okay, so we have a call now. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Oh, it ended again. So So I think our audience would like to hear a little bit more from your
Okay.
Kalam Asad.
Oh, I see. Okay. I wrote one salam for Janab Abbas.
Louder. So I think it's just
Okay.
a little.
इस्लाम का शबाब है अब्बास का अलम.
Mashallah.
इस्लाम का शबाब है अब्बास का अलम. एक जोर बू तुराब है अब्बास का अलम. एक जोर बू तुराब है अब्बास का अलम. इस्लाम की हयात है अब्बास की वफा. इस्लाम की हयात है अब्बास की वफा और रूह इनकलाब है अब्बास का अलम. और मशक़े सकीना सिर्फ नशानी थी प्यास की. मशक़े सकीना सिर्फ नशानी थी प्यास की. बच्चों का इस्तिराब है अब्बास का अलम.
Mashallah.
And then at the last it says करबो बला से ताब अबद दहर में असद. हर जुल्म का जवाब है अब्बास का अलम.
Mashallah, mashallah. That's very beautiful. So our Prophet says the ink of a scholar is more precious than the blood of a martyr.
Yes.
So we see an example here. His ink is powerful. And with that, he inspires us, like to have love for the Ahl Bayt and love for Azadari. That's a very powerful message there. So how do you get this inspiration to write?
Well, I think I started writing this when I started with the Velayat when I was 15 years old.
MashaAllah.
And I was, I think, in intermediate or before that. Then my father said, that you should start writing for Imam Husain and Ahl Bayt instead of, these things. So I switched to that. And my father, gave me a misra. He was not a Shia, but he gave me a misra. And said, start with this.
What was the misra?
It was a duai misra, and I would like to read that.
Sure.
It says that Ya Rab na chute haath se dama Husain ka. Ya Rab na chute haath se dama Husain ka. Dil ki faza mein gham ho daraksha Husain ka.
MashaAllah.
So, and I hope that every moment, every Shia will conduct, his, things, Azadari according to the Ahl Bayt. And promote this, because this is the only thing we have.
Yes.
That is going to,
this is our legacy that we
survive
leave.
in this world.
This is the legacy we leave for our
Exactly.
children and our children's children till the day of judgment.
And we have to have some new ideas in the organizations, to promote, these things so that, new generation get interested. They come regularly.
I think we have a call.
Programs.
Assalamu alaikum. Who am I speaking with?
This is Shahnaaz Rizvi.
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Shahnaz.
Walaikum salam.
So you have a comment. Would you like to share a thought, or you have a question? Mm-hmm.
This is Shahnaaz Rizvi.
Do you have any comments, or would you like to share a question?
Walaikum salam.
Ask a question.
I just heard this. Yes, please. Because of this lyric just now Mr.
जी,
Syed
जी.
Rizvi has said,
जी.
या रब नस्ल के हाथ से
मामा
दामा
हुसैन
हुसैन
का
का दिल की फिजा में गम हो दरख्शां हुसैन का.
जी, that is very beautiful. Can you hear me, Sister Shahnaz?
This is the word lead every youngsters and
Yes.
old generation to be keeping ourselves on Sirat al-Mustaqim, the first word.
जी,
This is what I
बिल्कुल.
feel when I came in States. If we don't have this kind of, yes, it's disturbance.
No, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah. The first verse I'm talking, या रब न छूटे हाथ से दामा हुसैन का. जब इंसान दामा हुसैन का जो थामे हुए हैं आज तक 40 साल से, वो कभी बहक नहीं सके.
बिल्कुल.
This is what I really appreciate for this verse.
जी.
And the other words, I really like it.
जी.
As well as I have got another verse.
जी.
Other verse is also very important in this whole poetry.
जी.
इस्लाम को है नाज तो ईमान को फख्र है, दर्जे अमल वो दे गया नादा हुसैन का.
Mashallah, mashallah.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Sister Shahnaz. And keep watching us on Velayat TV.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
वैसे तो पूरी पोइट्री अच्छी है अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह,
जी.
मगर मेरे लिए पहली. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for
There's
calling.
disturbance, I can't hear you, but your program is really nice, and I really appreciate to see you both on screen.
Yes, so
Thank
keep
you.
watching us on Velayat TV. Assalamu alaikum. So the inspiration, I think it's God-given inspiration to write about the Ahl Bayt in such a manner.
Yeah, I'm grateful to Ahl Bayt for giving me that thing, that I could write. But the important thing is, like I said, my vision since the beginning was to have, azadari the way, we have to do it, and also to propagate, Islam according to Ahl Bayt.
Yes.
Which is more important than anything else, because we have to follow the seerat of Ahl Bayt, and also,
And we have to share it with the world.
Family and children, that azadari is the most important thing, and that's also, should be part of our life all the time.
Now you have passed on that passion you have for
Yes.
poetry and for writing about the Ahl Bayt. You have passed it on to
My
your son.
Yes.
Who's also a very good shire.
Thank you.
Alhamdulillah, Rizvi writes beautiful poetry on the Ahl Bayt as well. And has he published a book yet?
No, he hasn't.
So inshallah he'll publish a book that we
Maybe.
can share with everybody.
Maybe, but the important thing is that in spite of the fact that he can only read Urdu, he cannot write. So he, still he's doing very good in, composing, salams.
Yes,
and
that's amazing.
nohas.
Yeah.
And,
Somebody who's born and brought up here can write Urdu shairi at that level. It's all lafad Ahl Bayt that brings out that.
Exactly. But the thing is that a lot of our youth should also start,
Yes,
writing
in English.
poetry.
You don't have to write in Urdu, you can write in
They
English.
can write in English or Roman English or whatever, But they can, express themselves, how they feel about Karbala and the institution and Azadari.
So when you were starting the center, the Husaini Center, and you had to, I'm sure you had to juggle so many things, right? You had your work, you had your family, and then you had all of these responsibilities and duties towards the association. How did you do everything?
And as a matter of fact, when after I established, in 1972 February, Husaini Association, I was so busy. I was traveling like 80% of the time, going for audits throughout United States, Canada, and Caribbean. But still, I had the time when I used to come back home. I used to do whatever I can for the organization. There were a lot of people who helped me in, achieving a lot of things that I wanted to do. Like, for instance, we wanted to have Islamic constitution because we didn't have to have, elections where people are fighting. One group, stands for the other stands for the. the different one. So we thought that this was the best time, and that's why we asked Maulana Syed Zaki to come and implement Islamic Constitution, whereby we deleted the section of elections. And after that, Maulana Syed Muhammad Hujjatul Islam Syed Muhammad Mahdi also continued in that area, and we still have that Islamic Constitution for Husaini Association, and it has been implemented and been run under that constitution by Maulana Mahdi Abedi.
So is that the same
so
for
he's a great asset to Husaini Association and the community at large.
So is it the same for the other associations in Chicago? There's no elections?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But I hope, because these elections really,
create a lot of friction and problems.
Yes. But it depends who is running the organization also. So we were fortunate to have both.
No, we have good leaders everywhere.
Yes.
MashaAllah.
But I hope and pray for the prosperity of all Shia organizations in Chicago and also throughout the United States. And I also pray for long life of Maharaja, who is source of inspiration to us.
Yes. So I think we are almost at the end of our program here. We have about 8 minutes left.
Okay.
So any last thoughts for us as we move forward? We know that Azadari is always going to go on, and our eyes are never going to be dry. We are always going to cry for Imam Hussain. But the thing now is that we are so fortunate that we don't have to even go anywhere. We can just sit in the comfort of our own homes and turn the TV on, and we have so many channels now. There's Velayat TV, there's other channels that you can tune to, and then you can have majlises come to your living room, majlises come to your bedroom, and what you can do is just sit there and enjoy those majlises.
Still I feel that like we at home, you watch Velayat TV and Shia TV from London during daytime. And because we need to go to the center, because going to the center is a very important thing.
Yes.
Unless you are sick, or you cannot move around, or you don't have a ride, then you can sit at home and see the program at any organization that
No, we need to be part of the society, the bigger society, and
and
share our feelings with everybody.
People, you exchange thoughts, and your children meet with their children, and it's always a very good place for love and harmony. And I think that's what Islam teaches that, and that's what Imam Hussain and Janab Zainab taught us to do.
Yeah, it definitely
to have a good unity among ourselves and the organizations. And even the organization should be, open to people from any walk of life. Yeah.
From any faith, from any walk of life, because we definitely have to spread that beauty of Islam through our Ahl Bayt.
Yeah.
I think
our identity is because of
the Ahl
Bayt and Karbala. And the most important thing that we Shia should remember is that we have two important things that really is an asset for us. One is Ghadir, and the other one is Karbala.
Yes, no doubt about it. So so inshallah, on behalf.
I really would like to thank again the Velayat TV.
I was going to do just
yourself and the management for giving me this opportunity. I'm really humbled by this.
No, on behalf of all our viewers and myself, I want to thank you for your time. And it's an honor to have somebody like you here, because you have dedicated your whole life. And you have dedicated your life, your time, your resources, your family.
Still, I feel that I haven't done what I should have done.
No, you have done what you had to do. And now it is on our shoulders. We have the responsibility of carrying on that message and giving that alam of Hazrat Abbas, to pass down that alam to our next generation and to our next generation. So we have the responsibility now. So our elders have done their job, bringing us Azadari and having that organized form of Azadari that we enjoy today. And it's just up to us now that we find those channels to reach out to people.
Right.
That's something that I really think is lacking now, is just we just need to reach out to people and show them, you know, like what Ahl Bayt are all about. The love for the Ahl Bayt. We want to fill everybody's heart with the love for Imam Hussain. That should be our mission in life. Inshallah, that's what we want to achieve.
And like you said at the beginning, you know, when we came, Husaini was the only organization, but now every city, major city, has at least couple of, not one, couple of, you know,
there's more choices.
Shia centers where, you know, Azadari and message of Imam Hussain is being, you know, spread.
Ji. So let's end the program with a dua. So would you like to, I know you wanted to share a dua with us.
I just want to recite again that Misra from my...
Is there more to it than the one Misra? Is there more?
No, that's the dua Misra, that Ya Rab na chute haath se dama Hussain ka, dil ki faza mein gham ho darakhsha Hussain ka. That's what we should have Daman Hussain all the time. We pray that every moment has, you know, Daman Imam Hussain, holds Daman Imam Hussain, and that's the only thing that is going to
that's going to help us in the future
to survive.
Yes, and that's so important that we keep going to the centers and we keep going to the majlises that we hold at each other's homes, because even that, you know, like that's so important. We have a call now. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, I wanted to speak to Mr. Syed Asad Rizvi.
Yeah, he's right here.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, walaikum salam.
Salam alaikum. Yeah, walaikum salam.
This is his niece calling from Atlanta. Adab Bade Baba.
Yes, how are you?
You must be so proud to see him on TV, right?
Very nice to see you on television.
Yes.
I'm fine. It's very...
So I hear an echo there, but pardon us for that. But
anyway, all the best. I saw the last few minutes of the program. As always, you have done an excellent job.
Oh, yes, definitely, definitely. No, it's a blessing to have people like this in the community who have given us so much. And now, like I said, it's our responsibility to carry on this message of Karbala and carry on Azadari into the future. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you very much, and all the best to my uncle. And I pray for him to have the best in health.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. So let's finish with the dua that you have for us.
I just want to pray that, you know, we all remember Karbala and the sacrifices that Imam Hussain rendered in the sake of Islam, for the sake of Islam, to revive it. And I hope that all the Mu'mineen will remember the message of Karbala and do whatever they can to promote and propagate true Islam as presented by Ahl Bayt.
So we would like to hear the poetry again that you had for us for the dua.
That is the one I think I said before. Ya Rab na chute,
Ya Rab na chute,
haath se dama Hussain ka,
ji,
dil ki faza mein gham ho darakhsha Hussain ka.
Dil ki faza mein gham ho darakhsha Hussain ka.
Thank you very much for inviting
me.
So
let's end with a dua from the Quran. Let's pray for our youth, our kids, and then pray for our parents, and then pray for ourselves. So, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Let's start with salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Rabbana hab lana min azwajina wa zurriyatina qurrata a'yun waj'alna lil muttaqina imama. Rabbirhamhuma kama rabbayani saghira. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina azaban nar. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Khuda Hafiz from Velayat.